Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of the 11th Hour Call of Cthulhu. For some odd reason, these lovely folks here have decided to come back for some more. Can't
fathom why.
That's kind of what I was wondering here. So, with me tonight we've got Kyle, Jillian, Mac, and Cy. And did y'all have a great week?
It's been a roller coaster, you know?
And I don't think that's gonna change, I gotta be honest.
Well, how about we call some Cthulhu then?
We'll dial him up.
Dial him up.
You think he'll bring us some Hawaiian pizza, maybe?
I'll bet he brings you some squid.
I could do calamari on pizza.
I could do the calamari bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. So, last week, when we left off, poor Patty had put a nice little gouge in her knee, kneeling down into some sharp rocks.
Ouchie.
We found plenty of disturbing images and statuary in the backyard of Harlan Dupree's workshop. We met the encyclopedia salesman, John Smith. He does not appear to be any particular shade of shadiness at all, right? No?
Oh, yeah, sure. No. Squeaky clean. Like a mud bath.
Yeah. Cool. So, when we left off, the deputy sheriff had come by, saying there was a mob that they had found little Bethany's body. And the mob was storming the jail because they wanted justice. And the sheriff had sent the deputy because the sheriff was telling everyone, look, we've got people from Arkham here investigating what's really happening. And he's hoping that your presence will be enough to quiet the mob before they break in and rip Harlan Dupree to shreds. Taking justice into their own hands.
Or vice versa.
Right. Exactly. So you've hopped into your Model T, and you are following the sheriff back at a mighty quick 30-some miles per hour.
Mighty quick indeed. Might get a nosebleed up here.
Is it alright if I sit in the back with Patty this time and try to... I'm not a doctor, but just try to bandage their knees so there's just not a gash just bleeding while we're talking.
I can do that.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. We can have Gussie make a first aid roll as the first roll of the night.
I mean, I can do that quite well.
I'm literally just attempting to put a band-aid on it, so if I fail, I'm not fixing it. I just want to slap a band-aid on.
Well, we can deal with the damage.
Yeah, you can fix it later.
Yes.
When we're not, pell-mell down the road.
First aid. There it is. Also, while I'm doing this, I'm going to hand the book to Patty. I'm going to be like, darling, do you recognize this? And I'm going to open it to the page with the triangle, with the circle and the eye and the vines.
I cannot tell.
Did it feel like it didn't work?
Oh.
Oh no.
It didn't roll for some reason.
Let me try.
I see a roll, but
it's not a roll though.
That's so strange.
Did it work?
Alrighty, that's bizarre. So what is your skill?
My skill is a 30.
So that's a failure.
Could I so tempted to use luck points. Are we getting more luck points?
You are. So everyone go ahead and roll a d10 to start off the night, since you all look so
If
fabulous.
I can, I'll help you out.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Never mind.
can I help you out?
No. There we go.
Oops. Sorry.
There's a success roll with luck.
That's interesting.
Well, how do I... Oh, sorry. I think I know how to do this. All right.
I didn't
Yep.
mean to roll it. I meant to edit it. I was
Yep, that's what I
a
was...
goof there.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, basically it was just a guise for me to get the book to see if Patty knew what it was, and also just slap a Band-Aid on her leg.
All right.
Honestly.
Yeah, so, Patty, you're looking at this odd symbol. And go ahead and give me a Cthulhu Mythos roll. You know you want to do it.
Slim chance.
Ooh, look at that. 65 versus 2. So close.
Yeah, so very close. Just barely off of that.
Use all
One
your
day-
luck points.
Yeah. Why don't you spend 63 luck? It'll be fine.
I have 54.
Oh, well.
One day you'll get it, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, one of these days I'll hit that 2%.
One of these days.
Rolled a 1 last time. It could happen.
I mean,
We did get a 1.
true. That is true. There was just the one of them. I can't say that I have, really. It's strange, though.
I've seen a lot of things. I have never seen this before. And I'm going to close the book
me.
and take it back.
You know me. I've read plenty on the weird, but no, this one's not one I'm familiar with.
We'll show it
Thank
to
you for
the
trying.
audience again, because it's such a lovely symbol.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's just the gosh darn prettiest you ever did see.
The rootinest and tootinest. All right, so you follow Deputy Pitt back to the town, and as you pull up to the city jail, out in front of the constable's office, you see quite an angry crowd. As you get out of your vehicle, you hear the constable trying to shout above the crowd. He goes, "Now, I'm not kidding now. You folks, you done elected me to keep the peace here for 4 terms running. That's what I intend to do today. So now go home now."
4 terms. Astounding.
And you hear some protest rising up from the mob, and someone screams out, "How can you protect that monster?"
Have we pulled up? Have we arrived?
You've arrived. The deputy is attempting to clear the way so you can get up to the front to be with the constable.
All right. I suppose, sort of, as we're kind of making our way through, I'm going to sort of turn on the charm just a little bit. Pardon me, excuse me. Very sorry. We'll only be a moment. Please, let us speak if you would. And kind of like just nudging people gently to one side and the other, kind of trying to help the deputy clear the way.
And as you're saying that, you see a man wearing a Catholic frock. Is your best guess, and he goes, "He's a man, same as you, same as me. We cannot take our justice into just our own hands."
The father's spoken.
Honestly,
Someone
The holy
else
man
in the
has
back of
right.
me goes, "That's no man! He ate my little girl! My beautiful little girl! She's shredded! Ribbons! I'm a God-fearing man most Sundays, Father, but today the Bible says eye for an eye, and I mean to get it."
Are we able to get up to
So
the front of
the deputy
assembly?
pushes for You guys back up, and he goes, "Now, here's the folks the sheriff said was coming." And he kind of nudges at you, and he goes, "You're on."
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I understand that a dreadful tragedy has happened this day. There was nothing in the world so dreadful as what has befallen this loveliest little lamb of your town. But please believe us when we say that we are here to do right by you. We are here to resolve this problem, and we are here to see justice be done. Now, we do not yet know the exact way in which things happened these last couple of nights. If there is any information that the man in this cell can give us to help us bring him to justice, to help us resolve this wound upon your town, then we must keep him alive at least long enough to get it from him.
That sounds an awful lot like a persuade roll.
Sure sounds an awful lot like a one, I suppose.
Uh-oh.
You use the point. Oh god.
I might need to. How many would that be?
It's so many points, but it might be worth it.
That's
It might be
16.
worth it.
That's 16, or you could double down and push the roll, taking it a step further and roll again. But if you do that, who knows? The crowd is likely to get ugly if you double down.
Pushing gives you second chance, but makes the consequences worse if you fail.
And
That was the
we
impression.
could pack you up. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want. If it gets past you, the tactic changes, which is fine.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
happy
fair.
to change the tactic.
Avery
All right.
has unshouldered his shotgun at this point.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
my hand is on my gun.
I will burn the lock.
All right, you burn the luck.
Okay.
You burned the luck, spending 16 luck points.
Still have a lot.
It's a lot, but we can't have this crowd getting rabid right now. Not when we're just getting things started.
So that brings you down to what luck, Patty?
My new luck total is 38.
Oof. Oh my.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's a bulwark, I suppose.
So the crowd begins to disperse. One man is left at the end. And he says, "You do right by my little girl."
Yes, sir, we absolutely intend to. There will be no stone unturned.
And he turns around and walks away.
You should have tried to sing instead.
Just put on
I
the
don't
show.
think singing would have been the right tone for this situation.
Sorry about your daughter.
It suddenly turns into a life of Brian. Always look on the bright side of life.
And they're
You're a
like,
musical
and then we
horror
get
show
completely
after
ripped
all.
apart.
I think someone else is recommending you start singing "Hello, My Baby."
Oh god.
Worse. That's worse.
I'm gonna let go of my gun. I'm honestly shocked it worked.
So the sheriff is noticeably thankful. He says, "Oh, folks, let me introduce my good friend, Father Henri Leclerc. He's from St. Agnes Church." Yeah.
Father, thank you for your good words to the people. I know it was fallen on deaf ears, but it seems like much tragedy has befallen them, and, well, not wrong for them to be hurting.
Well, they are good people, but they are hurting, so there's not much more we can hope for.
Sheriff, where was the body taken?
At the moment, it is at the funeral home.
Funeral.
Is that the? Would we be able to
We
find
need to-
Tobias Gravedigger there?
Oh, no. The gravedigger
Church,
is
no?
he's Tobias. He has a little shack just right on the cemetery. He lives there.
I need to see this
Father.
body as soon as possible.
They can
The
help us figure out whether or not it's possible something else besides.
Sure. So he says, I'm gonna stay here. I think the crowd is gone, but just to make sure, Father, would you and Deputy Pitts take these kind folks over to the funeral home? It would be my pleasure. They must have questions, and I know most of our town.
None. Or we can split up.
I just want a moment to just go inside and check on something.
Okay.
It'll take me just a couple seconds.
We can wait.
Inside the jail?
Yes.
Okay. The
You
constable...
want any backup, sis?
The constable...
Just be quick.
Yeah, Sheriff Clark is there. He opens the door. He says, come on in.
I am going to walk in. I am going to pull the book out of my bag, and I would like to present the symbol to our dear friend Dubris and see if there's any sort of reaction.
He continues to have the same reaction he's had numerous times before to you. He snarls.
You are infuriating. And I'm going to close the book and I'm going to head back out. I'm done.
All right. Enlightening?
No.
Unfortunate, but that's what we're here for.
Right. Dead things make a lot more sense, so...
Shall we get
The
to
morgue.
body?
I suppose.
Yes.
You head to the morgue. It is
On
a
our
small...
way, Can I look at...
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
a small building. In there is room for... It's very cold. It's actually it's a side entrance to this below the town hall, and it's actually built into a basement. So you can see remnants of an old ice chute that they used to help keep it cold down here by bringing in ice. But it appears that the electricity and being below ground, that they're able to keep it relatively cool. As you come in, there's two examining tables, and on there the remains of little Bethany Miller.
Do the remains match the description of a
Currently,
girl?
they match a tarp. There's a blanket over the remains.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to make a sanity check.
If this is what it's feeling like for anybody who witnesses this, yes, that's the impression I'm getting.
I mean, I've seen a lot of remains. Maybe not as fresh, but I've seen a thing. I'm ready to see this corpse.
Alright. Okay, I will... There are no gloves anywhere.
There are no gloves. No.
Is there a wash-up station?
There is.
A wash bowl?
There is running water. It looks like it might be more appropriate for the facility here. Looks like it might be more appropriate for cleaning deer than it is as for a mortuary. But yes,
What the
We
town?
may not all need or want to see this. If anybody wants to stay outside, then that's
Yes.
their prerogative, and I won't judge them for that.
I will try my best to think of it as just a part of a lesson or a class that I've attended.
Certainly.
I'll stick around.
The father says,
Offer's kind.
I do not need to see this. I will wait outside the door.
Patty,
The deputy
This
is
is-
like, are you ready?
1 second, deputy. Patty, I don't know if you need to see this, and maybe you could look around for something more. Maybe there's another way you could help. Instead of being here to see this, which it's not your specialty, I would say.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Come, Patty.
All right.
You can
Yeah.
keep me company.
Gladly, Father. Thank you.
Gloves. Can I find some fabric or some cloth or something?
So you start looking for gloves in the cabinets, and you finally find some big, huge, really thick rubber gloves.
This will have to do. I'll put on the gloves. And
Yeah, they go all the way up to your elbows.
Ah.
Slowly, I'll grab the fabric covering the body, and I'll look at everyone. And are you ready?
I suppose so.
Go ahead.
So I will slowly peel out the fabric to expose the body. Slowly.
As you pull the cover back slowly, you see her beautiful face, and it's the face of a little 8-year-old girl, certainly pale and dead, with some glassy eyes, but there's nothing remarkable about her face as you're pulling it down. And as you start to pull it down, you see that she's wearing a nightshirt, a white nightshirt. And as you start to pull it further down, you get to about just above her abdomen, and you can see that the nightshirt is starting to be stained red. Likely blood.
So the wounds are still covered by her clothes.
You're doing this slow. At the moment, all you've done
Right.
is pull it down to abdomen level.
Okay.
Like a band-aid. I like a band-aid, please.
At the very least, the upper half was not damaged. We can continue. Are you ready?
Ready.
So I'll peel it further.
You peel it further, and you see that the nightshirt is nothing but soaked in blood at this point, and it seems to settle down into her abdomen, giving you the impression that whatever creature may have disemboweled her, as there appears to be a cavity there that the nightshirt is sinking down into. And as you pull it further back, you see that one leg is completely missing, ripped off. And the other one, as you see her legs, you see that the bite marks all up and down have that something took chunks of flesh out of this little girl's legs, and probably above where the nightshirt is hiding. So anyone in the room at this point definitely needs to make a sanity check.
Oh gosh. Oh, I
Alright.
made it.
So Gussie, you lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay. Oh, okay. 1 is fine.
And what is your reaction?
I think I'm going to, the instinct is to turn away, but I think I'm gonna end up hyper-focusing, which makes it worse, as I can't look away.
Yeah.
And I'm fully drawn into it, like, almost hypnotized, like, stuck in it. But it is horrific to look at. This is not remains at a dig. This is a person who was alive very recently and a child, and it's a lot to take in.
Avery's gonna reach into his breast pocket and take out his flask and take a drink. offer it to anybody else in the room, and
the deputy takes it and takes
the deputy's there.
multiple swigs. And starts handing it around. And he says, "You folks, you just come out when you're done." And he turns around and walks out.
He failed his sanity check.
He gotta go.
He got a nope, not for me.
I
Iori,
was wondering-
give me a medicine check.
Okay, let's go. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Here we are. Oh, come. I'll spend a luck point.
You spend the luck point.
It's not so bad. It's just one.
Yeah, one is not bad at all. In spending that, you're not sure whether it is good news for your soul or not, as you are looking at the wounds, and as much as you'd like to say that these bite marks were caused by an animal, there's actually, before you spend that luck point, go ahead and give me another roll, because I'm going to give you advantage on that.
Okay.
All right. So as much as you would like to have said that, to have concluded that this was caused by some form of animal attack, you are absolutely certain that these are human bite marks on this girl's body.
So it might be that man was indeed the culprit. It's possible. If we want to really make sure, Harland, these are human bite marks, not animal or anything otherwise. If you want to make sure, it's possible to match the teeth marks, his teeth with the teeth here on this body. It might be possible.
You'd have to get him back to Arkham University in order to get the casts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have the facilities you've seen in this town. You know that there's no way. But
however, that we know that it is human. These are human bite marks.
Cannibalism is a crime, desecration of a corpse is a crime, but none of that indicates murder. What killed this girl?
Is there some way for me to find
oh, with your the trauma, she was definitely killed by being bitten to death.
Can you tell if the leg is post-mortem? Because that's what he was found with, was the leg.
Yes, I was wondering where the bone was.
Yeah, your with that extreme success, you would concur that the leg was removed post-mortem.
I'll relay this to everyone.
Interesting. So it's possible it was him. It seems like it was him, but it also could not be. There could be another horrible dog man somewhere else. I don't know.
Is it possible to check if there are other wounds that are
sure.
not
Make a spot
other
hidden
kinds
check.
of wounds? All right. Oh. I will spend luck points on that. That's what I'll spend luck points on.
All right.
How many is that?
9.
9. All right.
9 luck points.
All right.
So the only other wounds, you do find evidence of other wounds. They are indicative of fingernails and scratching the body.
Yori, what do you see?
The only other wounds here are scratches, which could definitely be caused by a man. So it seems like it checks out that, all the evidence from this body seems to point to Harlan Dupree to be the most likely suspect.
She's in her night clothes. Did she go outside, or did he snatch her from her room?
Does he have blood beneath his fingernails?
You're welcome to try and
We
check.
did not check that.
The little girl, Bethany, you do find evidence of there being some form of debris under her fingernails.
Is it what kind of debris?
You could scrape it out, but you would need a better lab to positively identify it.
All right. I will tell this to everyone. It seems there's a lot of scientific work I cannot do in these conditions. What happened?
Does anyone see that?
What is it?
No one sees that.
No one sees what?
No. What are you talking about? Are you okay, Gussie?
Which wound what am I looking at?
The deep one's inside her thigh.
Can you check her thigh, please?
Alright, although I have checked it all. I've had to look at it already and hadn't seen.
Check again, please.
Alright, I'll check her thigh.
Okay. Make a spot hidden roll.
Can I also make a spot hidden
Sure.
roll?
I don't know if that roll. Is that roll? Oh, it did.
Where are you? There you are. 3.
That's
really good.
Roll.
Nice.
Yeah, for some reason your
Extreme
sheet doesn't.
success.
For some reason your sheet's not rolling, but
I'll take it. I am going to start backing away. I'm going to start backing away towards the door. I'm going to keep my eyes fixed on her, but I'm backing up.
sure. You're pretty sure that the spurts are starting to get on Yori's clothes.
Oh no.
Back up.
What?
It's
Oh,
getting
Gussie.
on you. Back up.
Oh,
Gussie,
Oh,
are you
dear.
all right?
She can't be alive. Why is she spurting blood?
is this normal for?
Do they see it? Can I tell if they can see what I'm seeing?
They don't appear to see it, but you sure the hell do.
I leave.
Do I see the
I
blood?
run
Like,
out.
do
I
actually
run
see
out.
this?
I go outside and I throw up.
All right.
In a potted plant or something?
No, I run outside. The second I'm outside, I throw up.
Oh.
Where did she go?
What was that about? Anyway, I also succeeded that spot hidden. So.
Yeah, you just see more evidence of that it was human bite marks. There's not a clean tear. It's definitely some human bit in there and tore the flesh off with their mouth.
Okay. Well, I think we are mostly done here. Any other work that I need to do?
Sure, we're gonna cut over to Patty here. The father, you and the father have had a little talk. So, what did you want to talk to him about? Anything in particular, or?
Mostly about, well, seeing as you're the priest of the chapel, it would fall to reason in my mind that you would have at least some fairly close dealings with poor Mr. Harlan. Did you get to know him all that well?
His art is throughout my church.
We did see some of his art at his workplace.
Are you
behind his home?
Are you familiar with the Stations of the Cross?
I was raised by a Catholic mother. I am, yes.
His renditions are nothing but magnifique. There are many people who come brought to tears. Harlan was truly a gift from God. And then, of course, his wife passed.
What came of his work after such a terrible loss?
Well, he did not... his work became nothing. That which was done is truly beautiful. And now he attempts his best to make grave markers. He works alongside Tobias very much.
Well, I wonder, has he tried any more statues for the church at all since that terrible day?
It is not the same.
How... Forgive me if I'm prying, but one artist is always empathetic to the pain of another artist. Could you say how his art seemed to change, how it was different?
It is the difference between the master and the untrained.
Really?
I could do almost as well.
Oh, goodness, that's a shame. How has he been... Well, I understand that he's been making grave markers and the like in the last few years. Is that all he does to maintain his livelihood?
He helps out with the fields at times. Mostly his goal was to get enough to drink.
It's a shame, but it sounds to me like it was... Well, I've known folks who've turned to the bottle for comfort in times of trial and pain, and...
His daughter, Clementine, she wants nothing to do with him. She is a good girl.
I've heard as much. I wish I had an opportunity to meet her under happier circumstances, though we've yet to be introduced.
I believe you are staying at the Lockhart boarding house. You will meet her there.
Yes,
It is getting late. I hope they finish soon. We need to get you to your boarding house.
Yes, probably won't do us much good to do our investigation in the dark, but there's still so much to do.
The little
Father,
girl...
I wonder, do you really think Mr. Harlan had it in him to do this?
I think that many of us can do the unimaginable when our minds break.
Had he mentioned anything strange or out of the ordinary leading up to this dreadful event? Had he, I don't know,
been drinking harder than usual, or mentioned meeting somebody different, or I don't know, anything that could have been outside of his habits.
Not that I know. He is a troubled man.
Do you think perhaps maybe the gravedigger, was it Tobias?
Yes, Tobias.
Do you think he might have perhaps gotten his ear or got him to talk a little more, seeing as they worked together so regularly?
It is possible. Tobias, you should go talk to him in the morning.
Would he be on the church grounds?
No. The old church was indeed by the cemetery, but it burned a century ago. So now the cemetery is separate.
I understand. Okay, so he would be then on the grounds of the cemetery rather than the church itself. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate you talking with me, Father.
Yeah, at that moment, Patty, you see your sister run right by you, gets to the edge of the stairs, and just starts to retch.
Oh, excuse me, Father. My sister seems to have taken a bad turn, and what I've heard happened, perhaps that's understandable. I'm sorry, excuse me. Patty will kind of rush down the stairs after Gussie, trying to figure out what...
Yeah, no, she's right there next to you.
Oh. Gussie. And she kind of like pulls her hair back away from her face and kind of like helps to hold it up off her neck.
The second I feel hands on me, I freak out and I just like start slapping at her hands.
No, Gussie, it's me! It's Patty!
I'm sorry.
No, of course. And she kind of like pulls a little kerchief out of her little day bag and kind of like helps to dab away the puke from Gussie's lips.
Yeah, the deputy sheriff, he's like, it was bad.
Seems like. I guess I was right to take your advice, huh, sis?
I'm gonna lean into Patty. I don't know if I am hallucinating or if I don't know if it's something else, but they didn't see it happen.
Describe it to me.
One of the wounds started pulsing like there was something inside, and Yori checked, and they didn't see anything, and then the blood was everywhere, and it got on them, and they didn't say anything, and so I ran.
I understand. It's okay. It's okay, Gussie. It's okay. Maybe I should take a look at it.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but I don't know.
Gussie, what you saw? Do you think it's anything like what I used to tell you when we were kids?
I've been all over the world and I have seen so many things. None of them like this. I have never experienced something like this. And I think that's worse. I don't think it's anything like you. I think I've gone mad. I think it was a moment of delirium. I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe that's for the better, yeah? Maybe that's not as bad as what the other thing might be, right?
I would rather have the other thing.
Well, you sit tight, okay? Stay here and see if maybe you can get yourself some water. I don't know. I'll give me a minute, okay?
Okay, this is a question to DM. Did I just do something?
I was fixing your character sheet.
Okay, I was just like, oh god, I just start
Oh
blasting. Everyone.
People who watch On the Backs of Gods, if you want to see the GM suffer, watch this show.
For all of you.
Fair is fair.
I'm gonna sit on the steps and I'm just going to take deep breaths and try to calm myself down.
All right, Avery and Yori, are you guys going to do anything else with little Bethany's body?
I think there's nothing left for us to do for now unless we find a lab of some kind.
No, there's nothing I can see here that either of us can do.
Patty wants to go in there.
Okay.
All right, so Patty, you bravely start walking down the stairs.
I'm gonna
I just
stop her
wanna-
at the threshold. There's nothing to see in there. You don't want to see that.
I don't want to, but I think I need to. Please, Mr. Avery, if you would just step aside.
I'll let her into the room. I'm not gonna stay in the room.
All right. Patty sees little Bethany's body in all of its horror. Give me a sanity check.
Yep. Let's see what we got.
You can do it.
Ooh!
Patty looks at the body and, as horrific as it is, steels herself to it.
All right, little Bethany. What do you have to tell me? Patty's gonna step forward and try to kind of like see if she can see what Gussie did. Looking for what she described as kind of a pulsing wound, something that looks like it has something inside of it.
Sure, make a spot hidden roll.
Alright. Not very good, but we will see. Oh! I'm spending the luck point for that. Just one.
Just one.
I'm taking that. I've
All
already
right.
spent 19 in this game, so.
All right, so you spend the luck point. You're looking over it. You see the evidence that something has ripped this little girl's leg off. That there are bite marks going on the leg that is present all the way from the knee up through the abdomen, and you can tell that something ate the abdomen out of this girl. You can see evidence of some other wounds that are not bite marks, but you see no evidence of a pulsing wound.
I'll relay everything that I found out while checking the corpse to Patty.
So Yori shows you the evidence of some kind of stuff under the fingernails, that these look like fingernail wounds.
There.
Yeah.
And whereabouts are the fingernail wounds? Are they in different places relative to where the bite marks are?
Yes, they are different. You know, you're sitting there looking at that with your spot hidden roll. Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence.
Oh.
Are you kidding?
Patty.
Come on. Okay.
You're not
can I
So
have
no,
forced-
you can't use
Six.
luck for those. So Yori,
No.
since she's
Okay.
kind of thinking along those lines, you could do one as well.
Okay. My intelligence is actually lower than yours. Oh!
Oh, that's very nice. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the smart boy.
Yeah, you're not sure you wanted to know this, but now you know. You can just see that the claw marks and where they're at are just underneath her arms in such a way that you can tell that the man was holding the body down with his hands, like claws dug into them while he was probably face deep into the abdomen of this little girl.
Oh.
I'll inform. Yeah. I'll inform this. Yeah. The roles kind of disappeared. Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
But yeah, I'll tell Patty this. Let's see.
Yeah, I want the two. Yeah.
If he had his fingernails in her that hard, it would have left skin under his nails. I don't think we gotta look at him.
Yes. There is one last thing just to be thorough. I don't expect we'll find anything, but I'd like to turn the body over.
Okay.
Check the back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will do that.
Clearly, with your, I'm gonna give it to, you see carved into the leg, the remaining leg, that symbol.
I don't know this. Of course, I'm like,
What is that?
I'm like,
Patty, you
there seems to
recognize
be,
it.
Something on this leg.
That can't be good. That, This looks. I don't know much about whatever the hell this is, but I know a gang sign when I see one, or something like it. This is a
Look,
seal. This is some kind
Whatever
of logo.
it is, we need to copy it somewhere. I probably have a pen and paper. Probably like scrawl it, and just to have an idea of it.
Make a note of where it is,
Yes.
and
Probably draw it on the leg as well.
what does it look like it was carved in with? Is it like clean cuts?
Yeah, it's clean.
And
This would have had to be a blade or something.
indeed.
Knife? How deep do the cuts go? Are they skin level or are they
And
dug in there?
They're not very deep.
and how old are the cuts?
They were done post-mortem.
Post-mortem.
Same as the leg?
Yes. But, Miss Patty, would you think that a wolf man would, in his state, that Harlan Dupree would be able to cut such a clean symbol on a leg like this?
I
after her death?
cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Not after what I saw of that man in that jail cell, unless he is a very good actor.
I think before we leave...
Now,
the
Patty,
others
you are
want to see
100% sure that Harlan Dupree could not have done that.
There's at least one other person in this town who knows what the hell is going on with this child, and we have got to find him.
I think the others need to see this before we leave, but keep this to ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think too many more of the townsfolk need any other reason to get up in arms.
Get Gussie and... Oh, are you still here?
Oh, no, Gussie's upstairs.
I'm
Hammers.
No,
certainly
Gus
not
is
there.
upstairs, and I
Gussie
think
and I are
Harlan, yeah, Avery stepped out.
Yeah, I stepped
We
out as well.
I don't think we should subject him to
All right.
this. Let's just
Yeah.
show him your
The
sketch
deputy-
and tell him where we found it.
The deputy, as soon as you come up, Avery, he says, "Well, you know, folks, the father's here. He can lock up. I've seen quite enough, and I'm gonna get home to the missus."
Okay. I'll turn the body back so it's facing upwards again, just to conceal the sign, so no one else sees it.
And Patty will kind of pull the sheet back over Bethany's body. Kind of like rests a hand on her forehead for a little second, and we're gonna figure out what happened to you. I promise. Let's go, Mr. Yori.
Let's go.
Before you go, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Does Patty want to possibly do her thing?
She's been kicking it around in the back of her head for a little minute, and it kind of does nag at her as we're heading up the stairs. You know, Mr. Yori, I wanted to look into one more thing. Why don't you go on ahead with Gussie and Mr. Avery, and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Affirmative. I'll see you there.
I'll just need to grab something out the boot of the Model T, and I'll be ready to go.
All right.
So she'll follow Yuri up the stairs and head over to the Model T and go rooting in the boot of the truck for the bottle of, I seem to remember it was brandy, or was it bourbon?
Bourbon.
It was bourbon.
Yeah, I thought you...
Forrester's bourbon.
Yes, I thought you specially were preferential to absinthe for this.
Preferential, yes, but not to the point where I carry an entire bottle on my person.
Fair enough.
Absinthe would be better, but as it is, well, never turn one's nose up at a little something else to just get the job done.
All right. So Gussie and Yori, Avery, you see Patty go and grab the bottle, and she starts to head back downstairs.
I really want to follow her. And also, I just want to confirm that it stopped. I'm in a limbo state.
Well, I mean, you don't see either of us covered in blood when we came.
It is true.
Did
None
she
of them.
see us covered in blood when we came up out of the?
I mean,
All
Gussie
of them-
is
all-
aware that she thinks it's a hallucination, which she thinks is the worst outcome.
Yeah,
She would have
so-
honestly preferred it be a spurting blood fountain, but
Yeah. So Gussie, you clearly see that none of them are covered in blood.
oh, damn it. I'm gonna kind of mumble softly to myself. Something that gave me a little bit of solace is Patty asking if it was similar to what she experiences. And it gives me just this inkling of hope that it is, and I just kind of softly ask the universe to not be fucking with me. Even though I am not convinced, but I'm just hoping for the best, I'm going to follow her inside.
All right. You follow her inside.
I am slowly down those steps, like each step is painful.
Are you trying to sneak so that Patty doesn't?
No, I just can't move quickly.
Oh, I see. That's fair. I would imagine probably by the time you've worked yourself up to getting yourself down the stairs, Patty has probably already started in on her thing. down in the basement, she's already sat down on the floor, crossed her legs, and she's pulled a small little hand-rolled cigarette from a cigarette tin that she keeps in her little bitty day purse. I swore I wouldn't do this again, but needs must. All right. She lights a match and pulls a little bit on the cigarette and takes a very long drag on it and holds it long enough to take a swig or two or three from the bottle of bourbon and continues holding the breath another few counts and then just exhales slowly, the smoke rising. And
and this bourbon is almost as strong as your absinthe.
Oh boy, she's lucky she doesn't spit it out, but she manages. She's had some nice stuff in her time every now and again, tip from a patron and whatnot, you know.
Yeah, this is a nice, right about 100 proof bourbon.
I'm gonna sit down and watch. I'm just gonna sit in the back and wait.
So you got 3 tugs in you. You're starting to feel that burn going through your body. Do you reach in and start to let the power flow?
Yes. I'm kind of mumbling under my breath. I want to help you. Tell me what I need to know so I can help you.
So how much of your power do you release?
Now, I'm not experienced with this mechanic.
So you
Do
get
I spend power like I spend luck?
it recover. You spend power points, and it recovers.
Magic points.
Yeah, magic points. It recovers much quicker than luck does, and your chance of success is 5% per magic point you spend. So if you try all 13, you have a 65% chance of success.
Well,
and since her body is right here, I'm going to give you advantage on your roll.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go for my full 13. I feel like this is going to be the most important witness we're going to get in this case.
All right.
The most important.
Then just go ahead and give me a power check.
I just click the power for the roll?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh!
Extreme success.
Oh, there's the 2 that I wanted before. It's okay. I don't mind it. It's coming at a good time.
There you go. So you can feel you're trying to pull in her spirit in, and you can feel that it hasn't let go of the body yet. And she's like, well, where am I?
Oh, sweetie. You're with friends. You're in your hometown.
Do I know you?
I'm a new friend. My name is Patty. What's your name?
I'm Bethany. You seem nice.
Bethany. You seem nice too, and that's a very pretty name.
Thanks. Do you know where I am?
I'm afraid, Bethany, sweetie, you're in a bit of a sticky situation. There's been somebody who's hurt you pretty bad.
I heard a noise and I thought it was one of the cows, so I I got up to go look.
You went outside?
I did.
What did you see outside? Was it the cows?
No, it was scary. It was a man. He was running on his hands and his knees and growling, and he chased me.
That does sound really scary, Bethany.
I ran as far as I could, but I tripped and fell in the woods. And
Did you know the man who was running after you?
It's the guy that he makes the stones at the graveyard. I think he was really strange looking though.
I see.
Then he was on top of me and it just hurt. And that's all I remember. I couldn't find my... Yeah. I tried to push him off.
I bet you fought him real hard, didn't you?
Just like my daddy taught me.
I bet you did. Bethany, your daddy he's worried for you. And we're trying everything that we can, my friends and I,
can I come
to help
see him?
you both. If I had a way to help you see him, honey, you know I really, really would. I really would. I promise you that.
Can I see my
mom? But for right now, I haven't had a chance to meet your mama yet. But if she's half as pretty as you, I bet she's the most prettiest lady in this entire town. Bethany, sweetie, we're doing everything that we can to help figure out what happened when you got hurt. And we're wondering if you maybe saw anybody else besides the gravestone man when you was getting chased. Was there anybody else that you saw in the woods or anybody else near your house?
After it stopped hurting, I could see myself, and there was... I couldn't see them well. It was really dark, but there was two of them, and they turned me over, and they were grunting and growling and talking in grunts and growls. That's all I know.
Was the other man somebody you knew too?
I couldn't see him.
No,
it was... I couldn't see well. I can't see it all now. It's so dark.
Oh, honey, I know. The dark can be real scary, but you're so very brave for getting this far. I want you to remember that, okay?
And you're gonna bring my mama and my papa and my daddy here to see me?
I'll do my very best. I will do my very best, sweetie, okay?
Alright, well, thank you. I'm gonna rest now.
I bet you're real tired. You rest, okay, Bethany?
You lose the connection.
Did I see any of that? Did I...
You saw that Patty went into a trance, and you could hear her talking. You could hear her talking the whole time.
Okay.
But she was just kind of sitting there, and her, she was cold and sweaty.
I hate doing that. Patty's gonna...
You're a little tipsy.
Bourbon. That's not surprising.
Anything interesting?
How long have you been there?
Oh, I was here the whole time. I thought you saw me. It wasn't very quiet. I apologize.
Oh no, it was fine. I was I was distracted. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Good news in any of this, but go ahead before you get too intoxicated.
All right. So Bethany left her house. She thought she heard the cows making a fuss outside her house, so she went out, and that was where Harlan chased her into the woods. It was Harlan chased her, and it was, near as I can figure, Harlan who attacked her. But somebody else joined him. Some other man on all fours, at the very least. I don't know if it would have been another, what we, I guess, call a wolf man at this point, but they were talking in grunts and growls to each other. I have no idea who the other one is, but unfortunately, and something we probably don't want to tell the townsfolk just yet, it was probably proof positive Harlan who actually did this. But I don't think that it would have been either of them who actually made things come together. You see what I mean? I think there was somebody else involved.
Well, maybe I should go talk to Encyclopedia, gentlemen. Can I take a look, just one more glance over at the body? Does it seem to have returned to normal for me?
It has.
It's not like gushing blood under the sheet.
The whole time just been gushing. I'm like, good.
No.
Great, fine.
No, the body is covered again.
Okay.
We did cover the body before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Gussie.
Yes?
Mr. Yori has a picture of it, but you've already shown it to me. It was dug into the back of her leg. Clean cuts.
The eye.
Yes.
Speaking of the eye, now that it has shown itself in a third spot, it was also on one of the gravestones on Dupree's land.
And where did you get the first one? I mean, the second one.
The second one was the one I showed you in the book.
And that came out of his notes.
Yes, so I can only assume he either made it or he saw it on the gravestone, or I'm not sure. But it seems he has killed this girl. I take your word for it. Let's get
But
out of
I'm gonna say to you, in the state he was in the state we found him in, no way he could have done that. The cuts on her leg, no. Too clean.
I believe you. Usually situations like this aren't just one person.
And with that, we are going to take our break.
Ooh, fun.
See y'all in 10 minutes.
Folks, we'll see you in 10 minutes, and stay tuned
Patty's gonna
for...
have a couple more.
Yeah.
All
Stay
right.
tuned. Maybe you need to take some whiskey here.
Maybe.
All right, folks.
Ooh.
Everybody, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us, or if you're just joining us, fantastic. When we just before break, Patty communed with little Bethany on a extreme success of a 2. I couldn't even mess with that, you know. I had to give her little Bethany. So, Patty and Gussie are just wrapping up their conversation. They walk up outside. The group is there with the Father LeClaire. And do you want to do anything else, or are we going to head off to the Lockhart boarding house?
Patty is going to set the bottle in the boot of the truck and sit herself down in the car and wait for everybody else to decide what they want to do. She's ready to sit for right now.
And the rest of you can see, obviously, that Patty's a bit tipsy.
I have also clandestinely taken the gloves.
Oh, not a problem.
Casually leave with them, and they're
Yeah,
like,
just
all
like-
right.
How far is the mortuary from the jailhouse?
A block.
How far is the boarding house from the jailhouse?
The boarding house is a fair distance. It's about 10 minutes to the north side of town. Driving. At a firm 30-mile-an-hour pace.
I don't know what
I lied. South side of town.
each of you had planned for the evening, but I think I'm here for a purpose. I think I'm going to stay the night in the jailhouse and try to talk to our friend. Maybe I
Good
can.
luck with that. He's fairly caned, last I estimated. Not sure you'll get very much from him.
I understand that, but at very least, I'll be able to keep the mob from getting to him. Hopefully. And
Don't tell us about anything you saw.
I saw nothing more than anyone else saw.
No, out of character. I'm
Yeah, out of character, I didn't see anything else.
Or you only told Gussie.
Did you
You've
tell
only
me?
told Gussie about your whole vision thing.
Me?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've only told Gusty so
Yeah.
far about that whole thing. I have not informed either of you about it as yet.
All right.
I don't
Not
feel
particularly
incredibly
eager to
good,
talk about it.
separating like this, but you're a grown man, and I can't tell you what to do. So
If anybody has any reason I should come back to the boarding house, then I will.
I might possibly be picking a fight with a encyclopedia salesman. I can hold my own, but I just thought you should know.
I'm not going to be in any state to back her up.
No, I've got it. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying he's new to town. He called himself John Smith. He had bruises on his knuckles. And I'm going to go say hello to him tonight because I told him I would. But I'll be fine.
Indeed you will.
Patty, can I get my flask topped off?
Yeah, of course.
I'm
She'll...
gonna finish the scotch that's in there, so I don't. There's a special place in hell for people that waste good scotch, and I'll top it off with the bourbon.
Yeah. You'll notice that there's a good, 3 or 4 shots worth gone from the bottle from while Patty had it.
Yeah, she took 3 strong swigs, so there's about 5 shots missing.
I don't blame you. I just placed my hand on her shoulder, and I understand.
Yeah, she's
Thank
in no condition to help you fill the flask. She
I
might
control myself.
she might spill good bourbon.
Do
Don't let me do that.
Old Forster's not good bourbon.
Do you need anything for the night? I brought my whole camping bag with me, so I have a little fold-out bed if you'd like it.
No, I'm fine. I'll be fine. It's fine.
So Patty's driving, right?
I'm going to be sleeping in a bed.
There are other beds in the jailhouse. I'll find one that suits my needs. As
If you insist upon it.
what time can I expect you in the morning?
Oh goodness, if we're all not dead. I look over Patty.
Bright and early.
Probably a solid.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Give us 10 at the latest if we're not there by 10.
Yeah, that's about right. Mr. Avery, while you're there at the jail, I would love it if you would take a look under Mr. Harlan's fingernails. If you can safely, because I don't want him to bite you, but check under his fingernails if you can, please.
That's part of the objective of the evening, is to make good with our suspect and find out what I can.
Also, we're very convinced that there are more than likely multiple possible assailants or people involved, so I would just say don't trust anyone. Not that I think you are going to, but just a reminder.
Understandable.
I'll drive, and I'm going to
Lassie,
go.
you take care of yourself.
Of course. Always do.
On the ride, I'd like to first aid Patty.
All right.
I can go.
Take some first aiding.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty hard success.
It's a hard success. You get your 1 hit point back.
Hey.
Hooray! Well, that
Although you're
feels
still
a lot
tipsy.
better. Thank you, Mixed Yori, and Patty pats his cheek.
Mixter Yori, I think I should just update you because I was informed of what you saw on the back of Bethany's leg. That symbol was also found at Mr. Debris' home on a gravestone and also in his journal of drawings. So there is a theme, and I just thought you should know.
All right. Thank you for giving me this information.
Of course, you've already seen it now, so no point in keeping it secret.
Keeping it secret.
Well, I just personally could not recognize it, and this is no insult towards you, but I don't think you would have been able to either.
That's fair. In this situation, it makes sense to withhold information from time to time, considering the agents that seem to be operating are in this town.
And how fucked up it is.
This town's incredibly fucked up.
It's just...
Skeletons are so much easier than living people.
So
Yeah, you're not kidding.
you drop Avery off at the jailhouse.
Good night.
And so Avery would have been in on this conversation while we had it, no?
Yeah.
What
I'm fine with
symbol
that.
were you talking about?
Oh, well, damn then. I pull out the book when I park. And I just, while we're driving, I'm just like, give me a second. When I stop in front of the jailhouse, I pull out the book and I show the symbol in the book.
You mind if I borrow
Same
that?
one. Same one.
Honestly, sure. Is it a separate piece of paper?
It is.
Or is it,
Yeah, it was a piece of paper shoved into the...
yeah.
Yeah.
So I take the paper out and hand it to you, but I'm going to keep the book.
Alright.
Well, have a good night.
Be fine. I'll see you in the morning. Bring me a muffin, or at least a strong cup of coffee.
All right.
Coffee and muffins. We can do that.
All right, darling. I'm going to start heading out.
So Avery, as you get in there, the sheriff says, "Well, I'm going to be locking you in here for the night. You okay with that?"
I'm fine with that. I know what I'm getting myself into. Is there an adjacent cell that you can open up so I have a bed?
He says, "Yeah, but it's adjacent."
Well, That's fine, as long as you leave the door open.
Yeah, we've only got 2. You can have the other one.
I'll stay there, thank you.
He opens it up, and he says, "You have a good night." And before he leaves, he scrawls his phone number down, and he says, "Here, I'm going to put that right next to the phone, in case you feel a need to call me."
Understandable. I'm not entirely sure I know how to work a telephone, but I'll try my best to figure it out.
All right. So he locks you in there.
Locked in the cell? Hold on, no.
No, locks you in the
Locked
sheriff's
into the building. All right.
in the building. He locks you in the building. And the rest of you are heading to the Lockhart boarding house?
Yes.
All right. You arrive. It's a 3-story wooden colonial home. You're guessing it probably 30, 40 years old, give or take. And the front porch, the door is there. There's no one, there's no light on at all. You're getting there about 6:30 or so. You can see that there is one other broken down looking vehicle on the side. It looks like it might have been used for farm work, but it hasn't been kept up.
All right, in we go.
You walk up to the door, and it is locked.
Hello.
You knock on the
We
door,
would like a room, please.
and you see a woman comes to the door and answers it. She has on a dress, very tight. The collar is cinched up completely to her neck. She's got some poofs on her shoulders. Her hair is completely pulled back. She's got some earrings in her hair, and you're pretty sure it's a little bit of fur or fluff or something around the collar there. And she looks at you. She says, "Dinner has been put away. I trust you've eaten."
We're very fine. Thank you, though. Very nice of you.
The sheriff should have told you that meals are served at 5 and we shut the doors at 6. You see, standing on the stairs, you can see a very young woman. She's very pretty. She's got on a casual but nice blue dress that completely goes down to her ankles, and her hair is very... Patty, you're looking at her hair and going, "Oh my goodness, this girl is so pretty, and if I could just have 20 minutes with her, you could, make her a little starlet in Boston." But she looks like she's been hidden on a farm for the last for her entire life and doesn't know, kind of thing. She's very demure, very conservatively dressed, and her hair is in a nice bun. And she's just kind of staring down the stairs. And the woman says, "I am Esmeralda. This is my home. Clementine, please help the guests get their stuff upstairs and show them to their rooms." She says, Yes, ma'am."
Thank you
Hello.
so much.
Thank you.
And she comes down. she comes down, and she goes, "Well, you must come a long way, all the way from Arkham."
Awful long way, yes. It's lovely to meet you, Clementine.
Yes,
I'm
Deputy
Patty
Pitt.
Miller.
Deputy Pitt stopped by and told us to expect you. I don't get to see visitors very often, other than Mr. Smith. He's a little strange, but come, let's go upstairs.
Of course. Thank you so much. While we're going up, I'm going to be like, by the way, I promised Mr. Smith that I would take a look at these encyclopedias. Which room is he in?
As you get to the top of the stairs, she points to a door, and she goes, "That is Mr. Smith's room. I believe he's already in there for the night." And she whispers almost conspiratorially. She goes, "I can find some cold cuts if you're hungry, and some bread."
That would be very nice of you. Honestly, we lied. We hadn't really eaten, so it would be appreciated.
I'll bring them up.
Thank you so much, Clementine. You are an angel.
And so she shows you to your rooms, and she goes, I thought there were 4 of you?
Oh, well, one of us decided to, I guess...
Further some inquiries, I think.
That's a good way to put it. So, just the 3 of us at the moment.
Just for tonight. I believe he'll be joining us tomorrow.
Oh, very well. And you hear the other woman, "Clementine! There are dishes to be done! Hurry!" I'll bring it up in just a little bit.
Take your time, dear. Don't leave your aunt waiting.
So she runs downstairs, and you shows you where the rooms are at. You can see that your stuff has already been put away into the various rooms and all taken care of for you, so that you can get a nice evening's rest.
How many beds and how many rooms?
This floor has 5 rooms. Each room has 1 bed.
Okay. And what time is it?
It's 6:30. It is after dark at this point, but not by a whole lot.
Okay. Honestly, like, am I an idiot to go talk to this salesman after dark? I'm going to, but I just want to know if it's stupid.
I mean, I think it's a little bit stupid if he's, like the head of some kind of wolfman conspiracy thing.
I don't know he's the head of a cult conspiracy. Could just be a fucking weirdo.
Maybe, but if he's just a fucking weirdo, then it's also a bad idea to talk to him after dark. I'm just saying.
It sounds like I should talk to him after dark. What I hear.
You're gonna do whatever you want to do, Gus. You never listen to a word I said anyway, but just...
Perhaps one of us can take a room beside his room?
That would be a smart idea. Maybe keep your door open.
Well, we can all
Yeah.
take
So yeah, each of your rooms, if you want to be doing something else, you've got a really soft bed, like luxury level soft. And there's an armchair, a writing desk. It's well lit with 3 lamps, and there's a wash basin, a coat tree, and a highboy dresser.
By the way, you all remember that the daughters of Harlan Dupree own this place. That's right?
Yes, Clementine is the daughter.
Clementine's the daughter.
The daughter, and Esmeralda is his sister?
Was actually is his sister-in-law. Esmeralda is Harlan's sister-in-law.
That makes Esmeralda Clementine's aunt.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave my machete behind. I'm gonna keep my pistol. I'm going to grab a handful of bills. I'm gonna stuff them into my pocket. I think that would be incredibly suspicious if I showed up with a baseball bat. I'm going to be honest.
I'll wait for the cold cuts. Actually, can I stay outside to just watch Gussie from a distance?
You
Like
can
on the
stand
hallway.
outside your room in the hall.
Yeah.
All right, you stand outside the room in the hall.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
You knock on the
Mr.
door,
Smith?
and Mr. Smith, you hear the lock, the deadbolt actually on his room. You hear that undo, and then the actual lock and the other lock, and he opens the door just to peek. He says, "Oh, yes. You want to see them now?"
Well, I know it's incredibly late, but I'm not sure how early I'll be leaving in the morning, and I didn't want to miss out on such a great opportunity. Could I come in?
He he opens the door for you.
All right, I will go inside. Can I look around?
Sure, make a spot hidden check.
Good. Spot hidden. Here we come.
Patty's not going with her.
I mean, she's very inebriated.
I'm gonna use 9
Nine?
luck points.
9.
I'm gonna use 9 luck points.
You're gonna use the 9 luck points. All right. You don't want to push the roll instead. I mean, you'd have to be visibly nosy to push the roll, but you can use luck.
I just start flipping the bed over. For right now, I'm gonna use luck.
All right. You spend the luck points.
Oops, I just clicked on luck on accident. Whoops.
Yeah, whoopsie poopsie.
Okay.
See, if you pushed the roll, you would have made it. There you go. Maybe,
well, yeah, I'll use luck points.
All right. You see that there's a briefcase sitting on the writing desk. You can see his large trunk is open. Laying on the bed at the moment, you spot that the L through M volume is open on his bed. And
See what it's turned to?
if you picked it up,
I mean, honestly, like
it's flipped upside down. So,
okay, that's a little more suspicious. Okay.
yeah, it's flipped upside down so that it's not laying open to a page. It's flipped upside down so that it stays on the page he was on, kind of thing.
Okay.
Which really surprises you if he's an encyclopedia salesman. Why is he doing that to the bindings of his books? But
you had told me you were reading through them. What are you at now? Lilacs? Lavender?
He picks up the volume and brings it over to show you. You see that he is reading a page. He is on the lunar moon phases.
Oh, interesting.
And he has numerous passages in this book are underlined in purple ink. And you see what really draws your attention is a paragraph that's on the legendary effects of the full moon on lycanthropes or werewolves.
I see. Are you a bit into a bit into storybooks?
Says, well, there's, I need to, I want to be well versed. How can I sell my encyclopedias if I can't share some of these bits of knowledge? And some of them are quite a bit more exciting than others.
Of course. Is there something really interesting on this page?
And he points out, he says, well, the lunar moons, the full moon is supposed to bring about the change in a wolf.
Interesting. I am going to take hold of the book, but I'm also trying to push on his bruise on his hand.
Give me a spot hidden check.
Okay, here we go, boys.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
So, you're looking at it, and you kind of think that the purpling on his hands might actually be purple ink.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. How long have you been in town, Mr. Smith? And I'm gonna kind of start looking at the books like I'm real interested.
So, well, just a few days, and but I think you're trustworthy. And he goes over to his chest and he pulls out the Acme volume for A, B, and C. And he hands it to you and he says, I would like you to take this and look through it this evening and tell me in the morning that you aren't interested in buying a whole set.
Honestly, this is a great sales pitch. I'm going to take the books. Do I think there's some hidden language in that, or is he just a really good salesman? He got me.
Go ahead and make a psychology check.
Ooh, boy, that's, I don't think, good. Psychology, yeah, no.
Guess he should have.
He is. You think he is completely genuine.
Yeah, I'm going to read through these books. I don't have anything else to do. You know what? Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. I think I'll get right to it, and you probably will have a knock on your door this morning.
That would be a wonderful, wonderful. You have a lovely evening. I'm gonna... Did you know that Michelangelo was born in 1475?
Wow. I thought it was 1476, but I'm glad somebody was here to correct me. Thank you.
And he is considered one of the greatest sculptors and painters of the Italian Renaissance.
Amazing. In town, there's a bit of a scuffle with a sculptor, but this one seems much nicer. So I'll stick to the books, just like you.
Okay, wonderful.
I will take my books and I will go.
Okay, you take your books and go.
As soon as Gussie walks in through the door, Patty's kind of just slumped kind of like this in the armchair, but she's kind of propped herself up a little bit with a pillow so that she can kind of side-eye the door. And when Gussie walks in, she's like, Gussie, what happened? What happened?
I'm not entirely sure, but he gave me 3 books to look over, and either he is incredibly good at the sales pitch, which he might be, or I'm going to find out something interesting. I have a lot of pages to go through, so I'm going to get started. And I'm going to sit on the bed and just start going through pages.
Okay.
Do you want some help?
I mean, if you're not doing anything and you don't go out, that would be fine.
I promise I won't do anything to the pages. I can do the thing.
Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna start looking at the book.
Yeah, so you get make a spot hidden check.
Oh god.
Actually, I'll give you it from your previous one. It's fine. He has given you his personal copies.
Oh.
And
okay.
as you're going through, you see that there are numerous passages underlined in purple ink.
Ooh, someone's been busy.
And And
As we're flipping through, Patty's gonna kind of like write down the passages that are underlined.
there's too many.
Just kind of in her own little notebook. No, there's too many.
There's too many.
Okay, she'll give up after like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Like,
You get the distinct
They
impression.
seem to follow up.
So, Patty, I need a hard success from you on an intelligence check because you're intoxicated, or a regular success from you,
Yeah,
Gussie.
that's fair.
I will intelligence, here I come.
Yay! Gussie. Patty,
Oh, wow!
it's just a
I
success,
did
not a
do
hard
it. I didn't
success.
do the-
But that's okay. Gussie, you succeeded.
I know this.
You succeeded. Either this individual is not well educated,
Mm-hmm.
or he thinks some of the most inane things are worth looking at, because he underlines so much stuff that you're just like, in the course of your education, you're like, why would anyone underline this?
Does any of it seem relevant or to make sense together or seem more fresh?
I mean, he underlined the fact that what's a good one here, that you're sitting here going, why? You're
Bread.
yeah, like,
Slowly eating bread. If there's nothing that sticks out to me, that's fine.
no, nothing sticks out to you whatsoever.
This guy's an incredible.
It sounds like that, or like he sounds like he's trying to learn English, maybe. Like,
You're
there's
getting
too
the
many
impression that he's
underlines.
trying to learn the entire encyclopedia.
Why would you
Strange.
want to learn the whole encyclopedia? Is he trying to become a smart fact finder man?
Yes, you know, the
I've seen
well-known...
those at circuses.
He wants to change his
I've
name
seen
from
it at circuses.
John Smith to John Google.
John. And that's
Or
that's where
Jeeves.
Google came from.
We should just ask Jeeves.
Yes.
I am going to flip through all 3 just to be sure, and it's just a bunch of random things.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so the only thing that strikes you as odd is when in the C book you get to cemetery, and it is, there's the sections in there that are talking about paranormal events, and that ghosts, the presence of ghosts and the other various forms of undead that have been suggested, that he has all of those underlined more so than the rest.
Okay. Well, we wanted to stop by the cemetery anyway, so maybe that'll be our stop tomorrow.
I wonder if he was planning to make a stop by the cemetery too.
Well, I'd prefer not to meet him at dark. Prefer not to
Well,
meet
you
him.
already did.
Well, yes, but we were inside. We weren't in a graveyard where I most certainly will be found dead.
Or, in a strange man's hotel room where you could be found dead. It's fine.
Or I could have found a boyfriend. You don't know. Who knows how the night will go?
Maybe. Yeah. Could be anything from death to boyfriends. It's
Honestly,
fine.
that seems to be life, doesn't it? Death or boyfriend.
So,
Right.
Avery,
No, that's true.
your evening with Harlan Dupree is in your opinion, more frustrating than war.
Okay.
It is almost as pointless and just as nerve-wracking because he is spending his entire time snarling and growling at you, and you're having a heck of a time getting any sleep whatsoever.
I'm not trying to get any sleep. I'm staying just out of the reach of him, through the bars in the next cell, and I'm writing. I might pose a question to him every once in a while, but I'm not terribly concerned about him. Might ask, were you alone? Do I get anything?
You
Nothing?
get snarls and growls.
Right. Do you want to be here?
More snarls and growls.
Want a cookie?
I can relieve you of your suffering. Is that what you want?
You get another snarl.
Okay. No change in tone or inflection or anything. I'm just
Not at all.
Then I'm happy to keep working on my on what I'm writing.
At the very least, if someone tries to attack him at night, you can defend him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing. Is if anybody tries to break down the doors of the jailhouse, then somebody with a big old shotgun will be here to make sure that justice follows its proper course. But I don't expect to get much out of him, but I've got a ton in my head that I want to get down onto paper.
All right.
This will be a great book deal if we survive.
If we
Well.
live, it'll be an even bigger deal if we die, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh,
Clementine,
yeah. Right.
Clementine comes up with some cold cuts and bread.
I will receive these cold cuts. Are they with is she giving into our rooms individually?
Well,
Are we all in one, or are we?
you all have your own separate rooms.
Yeah, I'm currently with Patty, but we have separate rooms, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So she knocks on the doors and brings it in, and you guys have all kind of
Talk
gathered,
Clementine.
and she looks at it and she says, "So they brought you in to see my father?"
Yes.
How is he?
I'm going to be honest. He is not well mentally. Physically, I don't see much issue, but I'm not sure it's truly your father anymore, and I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse.
I hadn't seen him for 3 years. I just kept telling him to go away. He always showed up drunk. Always crying about Mama. And I miss Mama. But I miss my dad too, because he's alive, but he's dead. Or kind of.
None
But-
of it was your fault anyhow, or your thing to fix.
I know. I just... I don't really know what this means. But... I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
She leaves and she comes back. She's holding a kerchief. She says, it was a couple of days ago, Tuesday. It was late, about 10 o'clock. I was closing the shutters and I saw a figure running towards me. full speed. I was a little frightened. I wanted to go inside, but it was a full moon and I could see it was my father.
How did he look? Did
Well-
he look ill?
He looked okay. Against my better judgment, I stayed to see what he wanted to talk to me about. I figured he was drunk. But he just started rambling incoherently about a deal with the devil and screaming and wailing, what had he done? What had he done? And he said he'd struck a bargain with Satan himself for gold and liquor. And he said he didn't know what he had done, and then I could smell the corn whiskey on his breath. So I told him to just leave. And that's when he gave me this. And she hands you the kerchief. Inside is a gold engagement ring. It was caked with dirt when he gave it to me, but I cleaned it. You can see the inscription on the inside. It says, Elizabeth and Harlan always. This is my mom's ring. I recognize it from being a child. Where would my father have gotten this? It was buried with my mom 12 years ago.
I feel like you answered your own question, but we can maybe hope it came of it some other way.
Maybe. He's not well and still clearly hurting about
Maybe
your
we
mama,
can-
and
He
could talk with maybe the grave digger tomorrow. He might.
He turned and just ran away. He screamed that he was going to avenge Mom. He was going to avenge my mother. He screamed, Tobias, I'm coming for you. And that's the last I saw of him.
Tobias the grave digger? He was talking. He was going to get him.
I mean, there's a couple of Tobiases in town, but quite maybe.
It might be kind of important. How many Tobiases are there?
Well, I mean, not too many. There's a couple. Father, the father could help you better with that.
Okay. Sure.
But I knew that since you were here to investigate it, that I should tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clementine.
I'm gonna go outside and take care of my chores, and I'll see y'all in the morning.
Alright.
All right.
I
Take
think we will
care
find
of
more
yourself,
answers
sweetheart.
in the cemetery.
I think so. I think we need to speak with Mr. Tobias. Whether... Oh, goodness. I don't know. I'm worried. I don't know. Gussie, should I tell Mr. Yori?
I think that is 100% up to you. But
Do you think it might be important?
it makes the information you have legitimate instead of a hunch.
Okay. Mr. Yori,
Yes.
I've got some very reputable information, and I need you not to ask me how I know it, okay? Do you trust me for that?
Sure. I think
Okay.
I can trust you.
This is to help Bethany, and this is to help keep Clementine safe, okay? So, what I've learned, Bethany was attacked late at night outside her house. She thought she heard cows outside making a ruckus. She went to go look. She was chased by Harlan. She was chased down by Harlan, and Harlan was then later joined by another man on all fours. Another man on all fours. And I'm telling you, the thing that we saw on the back of Bethany's leg, no way that Mr. Harlan could have done that.
Indeed.
And I will bet you this other second person, unless they're much more lucid than Mr. Harlan is, probably couldn't have done it either. And what I'm wondering is, would I put it past Tobias, who worked the most with Mr. Harlan, to have been involved either as this other wolfman, or maybe as somebody who knows a little more? I wouldn't put it past him, I don't think.
All right.
Now that being said, I think it's something we should look into, but I think maybe we should also, I don't know, encourage after dark to not be a time to do chores outside while there's still maybe one more wolfman on the loose. We don't know.
We will have to inform the town in that case.
Maybe, the whole town's gonna get jumpy is what I'm worried about. But should Clementine be outside doing chores right now? Late at night?
Is she going out?
She said she was heading outside to do chores. I was gonna open the window so I could hear if there was a bit of a scuffle, but I'm more worried about, what was it, Esmeralda? She honestly seems a bit like a bitch, and I wouldn't want to get on her bad side. So I'm gonna open the window and I'm gonna sit over there for a while. I'm gonna take a glance outside to see if I see anything interesting.
All right.
Perhaps you can convince Esmeralda to pull her back in or not.
Oh, I don't.
Make me a luck
You
check.
don't want it.
Make me a luck check, Gussie.
Luck check.
You can do it.
Oh, and I just spent those luck points. Boo.
Oh boy, I believe it. You.
All right. Your window is on. Yori's window is on the side of the house that you could see what. Clementine is doing, but the actual room that would be best for that would be John Smith's room.
Oh.
Oh no.
I feel like I'm gonna have to marry the man if I keep going to his room at night.
What you talking about, Gussie?
I'm trying to just get eyes on Clementine, and I think the best way to see her would be through where John Smith is. And I've already entered his room once tonight.
That's gonna get real scandalous if you go another time, unless you wanted to maybe, I don't know.
It would be
Asking for
very
another
scandalous.
I could also just go downstairs and check on her if we're that worried. I'm fine
I'm
doing.
kind of worried. I'm kind of worried.
I'll go check on her. I'll keep a bit of a lookout. Maybe I'll see if she wants to talk at all, but I'll just tell her I'm out for a stroll, and she can get me back inside. So I'll head out.
Sure.
And I'll be back.
You head outside. You find
you
her
have your
at the
gun.
barn. She's got a lantern out there with her, and she is shoveling out some stalls and putting fresh grass and hay in there for some pigs, and you can see that there's a hog pen that she's feeding the hogs, and a couple of horses that she's taking care of. And she sees you and she goes, "Oh, it's nice to see you."
Honestly, I was just a bit worried after you told me about your father running at you and you had to go outside at night by yourself, and I wanted some fresh air anyways. So is it all right if I stay with you for a bit?
I would love the help, especially Aunt Esmeralda will be just excited to think that you're helping also.
Yes, help, of course.
Make us look good.
I'll stay.
She hands you a brush. She hands you a brush and she says, Millie needs to be brushed.
Which one's Millie?
She points to a horse.
Okay.
She says, all you do is run it across the horse. It'll be fine.
Why are you doing this at night?
I guess I will brush this horse at night. It's better than going into a strange man's room a second time. Here I go. I'm gonna go brush this horse.
Yeah,
So
you brush the horse. The horse is enjoying it.
As he should.
Yeah.
I already did
And you help. It only takes about an hour to finish the chores in the barn.
that. It's so dark and it smells terrible.
And she's
But
got
you're
one
doing the
lantern.
right
She has
thing.
one lantern out there with her. So
Yeah, I'll stay the hour.
yeah, you all end up inside, and everything seems to be fine. If there's nothing else, then we will cut to the morning.
I have one thing I want to do before
Sure.
the morning. I have eaten some of the cold cuts, but I've set aside some of, like, a piece of cold cut. I have the plant sample still with me. I'd like to, open it, slice some cold cut, slip a cold cut inside, and close it up.
Okay.
And I'll leave it out somewhere at night.
I hate it. Yeah, I hate it.
Well, at least it's in Mixer Yori's room and not in your room, Guts.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And I'll lock myself into my room.
Patty's already sleeping in your bed.
Just passed out.
And I will go to Patty's room. And take a
That's valid. Patty's a snorer.
And you wake up the next morning to you are awoken by the roosters.
Terrible, horrible.
Where's the clock? Patty kind of reaches for an alarm clock that isn't there, trying to turn off the rooster.
Yeah. The rooster wakes everyone up. And Esmeralda is you have a nice breakfast of fresh eggs and bread with jam.
All right, and we'll grab some for Avery.
Yes.
Over breakfast, Patty's going to kind of quietly converse with the other two. So last night got a little bit fuzzy for me after a certain point. Nobody died, right?
Honestly, I cannot confirm no one else is dead, I'll be honest.
Okay.
We have
Currently,
yet to check on Mr. Avery.
Avery's a bit of a Schrodinger's dead person at the moment. Is he alive? Is he dead? We'll find out in a moment, I'm sure.
I remember him stopping at the station. He didn't come back at all. Oh, was he gonna stay?
Yes, he was going to stay, make sure nobody came in, and I guess make sure nobody came out.
Okay. All right.
But we plan, I think, to go to the graveyard because I think everything is pointing us in that direction, and it's the last place really to check. Fun.
Yeah. Mr. Tobias, I think we're going to need to pay a visit to.
Of course. Well, I'm ready when all of you are.
I think I'm
My notes
ready.
are an absolute mess.
No one else is here, right? I'm
whispering at the edge of the table.
It's and we're just the only. Where's this encyclopedia man?
Yeah, he is not at breakfast.
Oh, God.
Was his room still shut when we...
It was.
Shall we have a how shall we just say hi and goodbye to him?
I think
Or-
so. He did tell me to stop in the morning. It would be polite.
And what about that book too? I think he was
Yes.
probably
I'll
gonna
grab his
expect
book,
that back.
because these are his. So I grab the 3
Mm.
books after breakfast, and we'll go to his room.
Sure.
And I knock on the door.
You knock on the door. It takes a few minutes for him to answer. And when he answers, his hair is all over the place. His eyes are horribly bloodshot. And he says, yes. Did you... Are you ready to purchase them?
Yes, I think I am quite interested in purchasing some. How much is one, and how much is the set?
Well, the entire set is $25.
I wish I had brought more money with me on this trip. Honestly, you made the L&M section sound very intriguing, I'll be honest. For right now, and if I can't get the others to pitch in later, I would love to buy the L&M book.
Well, if individually they're $1.50 each.
Okay. What a bargain. I will produce $3.
Okay.
Dollar bills.
All right. How was your night, Mr. Smith?
It was good. Thank you. Well, I appreciate this, and might I find you elsewhere to complete your collection when you have more money, funds available.
Sadly, I'm a bit of a nomad. I'm constantly on the move, but I'll probably be here for a bit longer, and maybe if I'm able to scrounge up some more, I think I will start picking up more books.
All right, great. And he shuts the door quickly, and you hear both locks sound.
Was he? Did he have the look of like somebody who was just burning the midnight oil, or did it look like he was partaking of some things? I feel like Patty would know the difference.
Give me a psychology check.
All right.
It could be
Never.
either.
Fine then. He might have just been reading those encyclopedias all night, for all I know.
Very true. Let's go get Mr. Avery and head over to the cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Whew.
All right. You show up, and the sheriff is arriving about the same time
Excellent.
to let Mr. Avery out. Sheriff Clark walks in, and indeed, you do get some sleep, even though you were writing for quite a bit of the night. Harlan eventually settles down and just curls under his cot and goes to sleep, and decides that you're not going to interfere in his space. So the sheriff walks in and he says, "Good morning! Did you enjoy your rest and stay?"
Oh, good morning, Sheriff. Does he ever say anything other than ruff? Because that's what I got.
That is a lot of what he's had to say.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. I think I saw your friend's motor coming down the road.
I'd be glad to see them. Any other developments on your end at all, Sheriff? Have you found anything else out about the disappearance of, or what led to the disappearance of little Bethany?
Well, I believe that your doctor examined the body, and I was hoping.
No, we all examined the body. We saw that. What did you find out that led to that? It seems like we've been doing most of your investigation for you. You don't have a big town here.
No,
this can't have taken up too much of your time.
And this is beyond the scope of our abilities. This is why we called Arkham to get help.
Yeah, I understand, but at this point, you hadn't even investigated the home of the suspected killer.
I had been out looking for a little girl, which was far, far more important than the home of the suspected killer.
And you said you saw my friends coming down the road.
Yes, they should be in momentarily.
Oh, that's excellent. Why didn't you investigate the home of the man you suspected was the killer?
As I may have mentioned more than once, the killer, as you said, is in the jail. We've known this man our entire lives. Little Bethany, we did not know where she was. If there was any chance whatsoever that she was alive, finding her alive was far more important than whatever investigation there was to be done at a home that wasn't going to be changing in the next 24 to 48 to 72 hours.
Why wouldn't you check his home?
Because we looked for her at the last reported place that her parents had seen her.
Understandable. All right. I'll wait for my friends. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Avery.
Uh,
Find anything out?
Good morning, Patricia.
You're alive.
Yeah, yes, I'm alive.
It's a good thing.
I found nothing out. There's no additional information here to be found that I can determine. Anything on your end?
We found a little bit, I think. We plan to head over to the cemetery today to talk to Tobias. He seems like he's a bit knowledgeable of Harlan, so hopefully he will be a bit of help. Are you ready to go?
Tobias, the grave digger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Seem to have worked the most closely with him.
Mm-hmm.
Harlan, Tobias.
Arr!
Tobias?
Rah, rah, rah.
Harlan, Tobias.
Rah, 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 rah.
Is this the same rah that we've had?
Oh, yeah.
All night long.
Hans doesn't seem
Did
to be
you-
responding.
Did you get him to show his hands at all?
No. He's cowered in the corner most of the night. Tobias, come here, boy. Sorry, Harlan, come here, boy. Come here.
He snarls at you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're trying to absolve you of responsibility as much as possible. We're on your side. Come here.
I don't know if he understands anything you're saying.
Doesn't seem like language has been much of a help so far.
All right. Understandable.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to call it a night. Yeah. Well, thanks for staying with us, folks. And in 2 weeks' time, we will have the conclusion of our first investigation.
Wow.
I'm relatively certain.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Go to the cemetery, guys!
Yeah.
This is
Next
gonna be fun!
next Saturday, we will be continuing with Vampire the Masquerade. And don't miss this
Or
coming...
something.
Huh?
Or something else, maybe?
No, this coming Saturday will be Vampire.
Okay.
So Monday, if you want to see Jillian torture her players,
Like me and Kyle.
Yeah, left it on a bit of a literal cliffhanger. But On the Backs of Gods goes up every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is a Nordic adventure, D&D 5e. If you're interested, please stop by. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. And then Wednesday we have at 7:30 Central another D&D 5e show, The Fertile Lands of Neri by Roll Incorporated. So thank you much, folks, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. Come back soon.
And I wait and I wait.
And you wait.